Hello, the work's been completed on this Steingraeber upright piano made in 1905, 135 centimetres tall, 150 if you count the extra bit at the top there. And I'm going to compare it with a modern piano just to see the difference really, and if you're interested in buying a piano, see whether you'd prefer to buy an old piano with a very different tone or a modern piano. So there's 85 keys here, by the way, instead of 88, so if you want 88 keys. Some older pianos do have 85, quite a lot of them do. You can take all your exams on that without any problem. The main thing about the older piano is to get it refined so that it plays like a new piano, and that's what we aim to do. I've shown another video of this looking at the case and before we did the work on the piano, so this is just a follow-up video. And I'm going to compare it with this Feurich 133 new upright piano that we're very fond of. Very different tone, 88 keys. You see the top three those top two are white. That's how you identify that easily without counting them. This is our preferred make of new piano. You can find a video of the assessment of this piano when it first came in on our YouTube channel. Just some of the works that we've been doing on it. First of all, we lubricated here. This is work we almost do on all pianos, even modern ones. They tend to sometimes absorb moisture, and then that will put the weight up. The down weight will go up by about 5 grams usually. So lubricated, and you'll have seen me on the other video pulling this up and it stays up and now it goes down. So they all go down. They've all been lubricated here. And we'd lubricate other parts as well. The jacks here need lubricating very often. You can't see very well right behind there. And these tapes were already in good condition. We took up the slack on the keys. If you look at the previous video, you'll see that when I moved this there was slack. And now turning the capstans here. This is something you can do on your piano if you've got a piano and don't have technicians close by. Then they do get slack, so this capstan can be turned by inserting a little rod into it. It's just we have the correct tool for that, but you can use a thin rod of some sort. Just insert it. Make sure you don't break the capstan by forcing it too much, because that can happen. These are nice and free, easy to move. If they aren't free, then you can try and free them off. Sometimes a bit of heat frees it off, and just take it out, work it. So there's all the regulation. There's obviously lots of other regulation. Don't want to make the video too long, but like the dampers coming off at the right time, things like that. And this was remarkable because it's an under damper, as you can see, right the way through, but also got extra over dampers. Not many pianos have that. These top quality, and I mean extremely top quality German pianos, are so fastidiously made, and they've just decided to put those extra dampers on. We'll have a listen to this and the Feurich in a minute, just to compare the two. Once the piano's been refined, it's every bit as good touch-wise as a new piano, we believe, and sometimes better. It's so well made, especially than cheap new pianos. Tuning pins need to be tight. This piano was a semitone flat, as you'll see from the previous video, but we've pitch raced and tuned it. We lubricate here to make sure that if we take the strings down back up, they won't break, and none of the strings are broken, as you can see. So they're all original strings. Hardly been used, I don't think. We looked at the hammers. We did reface the hammers, as you can see here. You can see the different colour here. That's an indication of refacing. Might need to tidy up a bit there just before it goes out. We're forever refining our pianos. That was a mark put on probably because the centre was slightly loose, but it's not loose anymore, so we can take that mark off. And this one here, that's not loose. So that's kind of refinement that we have to do. A lot of these top quality pianos have this prop stick for propping it open. This one props it open at a great angle, so it looks rather like propping open a grand piano lid if you want to get more volume out of it. So this A was a semitone flat and now is at concert pitch. Let's compare that with the Feurich. So that's a Steingraeber upright piano made in 1905, very tall piano. There's a lot of leg room if you're a tall person, that's useful. And the pedals are very low, which tremendous, and they're angled as well, so that makes it even better. I mentioned some of these things on the first video of the assessment, and now we finished the work, and just wanted to compare this with a modern piano just to see what your thoughts are. There's a different tone. But in terms of playing it, it's just as refined as a new piano. There's no real difference in terms of study. I'm going to play now the Feurich and try and keep this sound in your head, or move backwards and forwards on the video. So here's the new Feurich 133. Has a particularly resonant bass, very long bass strings. It's an exceptionally well designed piano for a new piano. I think if you play a lot of jazz and you want a very clinical sound, this is ideal really. It's also very good for classical, but the older style piano has a different tone, and perhaps you may prefer it for classical music. I should go back now to the Feurich to have a few more thoughts about that. By the way, the legroom here is exceptional. See, it's 2 or 3 centimeters even more than the Feurich, than the Steingraeber. So if you are very tall, that would be excellent. Though the pedals on the Steingraeber are lower, which makes a difference as well. So there's something to be said about both pianos. So back to the Steingraeber. There are very few of these in the UK, very few tall Steingraebers. We've sold one other in our time as dealers really, so they are very uncommon. Maybe you can source them better than I if you're a piano dealer, or if you've got a comment as a piano tuner. I presume in Germany there are more of them, and in the UK there are a reasonable number of Bechstein Model 7s, which is a similar height piano, and something we're always trying to source. Model 7 Bechstein is one of our favourites. So of the older pianos, and we do favour older pianos tone-wise really, obviously the condition of them is the action, how much they've been used. In this case this has hardly been used, I would guess, partly because it was a tone flat, and that's one way of saying, well, the piano's not been tuned for an incredibly long time. It was very stable, it was pretty well in tune, even though it was a semitone flat. Maybe it had been tuned a little bit, but don't really know that, but I do know that it's likely that it's not been used for a long time if it's going to be that flat, which is exceptionally flat. So with pitch rated this piano, no problem at all. It'll maintain its tuning very, very well, because it's exceptionally well made. In my house I've always had old pianos. I think as piano tuners we tend to prefer the older pianos, just the way they're made, the way they're I don't know, it's the tone of them. There's a deeper tone to them. Having said that, the Feurich is exceptional for a new piano, so if you are buying a new piano or modern piano, I can really recommend that. Thank you very much for listening.